Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dale Center. Thanks for everybody who's here at this moment. Feel free to comment. We've got a lit comment section with a lot of the OG Garage fam. My guys, Exit, Trevor, Rye Cave, Troy V. Troy V is the man. Just like all these other guys and girls in the Garage fam. Welcome back to Dale Center. I am Dale Tanhart, the greatest NASCAR bettor in the history of the universe. Got to talk about the fit first. I always forget. First episode, shout out to Mark Martin. The 6 energy is strong this weekend. You actually like my Instagram post too. Got to throw that out there. How's everybody doing today? What are we doing? What's everybody doing? It's a Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. Troy, you got the Busch lights on deck. I don't know what anybody else is doing, but it's another stacked weekend of motorsports, NASCAR, Wake Up with Trucks, hashtag Wake Up with Trucks on Saturday at Mid-Ohio, Xfinity Series at Atlanta right after. I mean, it looks like we're going to have an easy transition from Mid-Ohio trucks into Xfinity at Atlanta on Saturday, take us into the night. And then we got SRX Saturday night at Nashville Fairgrounds. Then Sunday, the big daddy of them all, the NASCAR Cup Series race, the Quaker State 400 at Atlanta. For anybody who is not familiar, if you didn't watch Atlanta the first races or the first time we were at Atlanta in 2022, it is full-blown, full-fledged super speedway racing. No question about it. Do not use mile-and-a-half data. Do not use mile-and-a-half data to help determine your picks. Happy birthday, Rye. You're the man. Happy birthday. Good day to have a birthday. The day of Dale Center. So, anyway, like I was saying, do not use mile-and-a-half data to analyze and try to predict what's going to happen this weekend, because the racing this is basically the same engine package and the same aero package that we see at Daytona and Talladega for Cup. I think Xfinity, the engine package is the same, but the aero package is what they'd have in intermediate. So handling might be a little bit more of a factor, but the cars are so tuned down that it really isn't. The Xfinity race was a crazy one, won by Ty Gibbs in the spring. Kyle Larson wrecked. Big fade time against Kyle Larson, by the way. Winner of the Cup race at Atlanta in the spring was William Benjamin Byron when he was on his hot streak. Find out if I'm going to be on him later. So, without further ado, I know we talked a little bit about the aero package, talked about what happened in the spring. Let's get right down into it. We're going to start with the truck series. As you see on the bottom of your screen, you got a ticker rolling that has all of the Camping World Truck Series winner odds, courtesy of Barstool Sportsbook, aka America's Sportsbook, after what they did to give back loser bets on the Joey Chestnut hot dog eating contest, which was pretty cool, even though I don't think the over would have hit, even if those slap dick protesters would have got up there. But that was a cool thing. I didn't bet on it, but I definitely would have bet the under. So, America's Sportsbook, aka Barstool Sportsbook. And for trucks, the interesting thing here is everybody has kind of shifted. Everybody's kind of shifted against Zane Smith, or I guess for Zane Smith, and declared him as the favorite. It opened up as John Hunter Nemechek. Now, if you look at Caesar, you look at DraftKings, it's evened up. Barstool is the last book that has Zane Smith below John Hunter Nemechek from what I've seen. If you guys have seen any other books that still have Zane Smith higher value than John Hunter Nemechek, let me know. Send it to the chat. What's up, Dakota? Hey, shout out to Chairgating, Dakota, Matt. We're gonna see you guys in Atlanta this weekend, hopefully. So, I'll be checking in and out of the chat the whole time, by the way. So be ready for the constant interruptions. This is what we do. I don't have a very strong attention span. But talking about trucks, Barstool Sportsbook is the last remaining book that I have seen. Like I said, anybody else that has seen anything, let me know. But Zane Smith is plus 450 on Barstool Sportsbook. I'll go ahead and tell you, he's probably going to be on my card for Saturday. The guy has finished first and second in the first 2 road courses this year. Number 38 team has been the dominant truck in 2022. Is absolutely the favorite to win the championship at this point. Love Zane Smith. He's kind of figured out how to win just about everywhere. So Zane Smith is a guy that I think will have another strong run. You can find even money for a top 3, which is on Barstool Sportsbook, plus 125 actually. I think on DraftKings he might be even money for a top 3. So Barstool giving better value there on the top 3 side as well. Going through these guys, Carson Hosevar is a hot name right now. A guy that is knocking on the door of that first win, plus 700, which blew my fucking mind. But respectfully, like, it is about time the books respect Carson Hosevar. Usually he's plus 1,500 to plus 2,500 opening up. So as much as I hate it, the plus 700 is a worthy price. Now, it's interesting about Mid-Ohio because we're at a road course that hardly any of these guys have ever raced at before. The Truck Series has never come here. Xfinity Series has come here multiple times and was here just a few weeks ago. IndyCar was here last week. But the Truck Series has never come here, and there's very few drivers in the field that have experience at this racetrack. This road course is so different than Sonoma and Circuit de Americas, especially because Circuit de Americas is very, very wide, high-speed straightaways. You don't have that in Mid-Ohio. You have very, very tight corners, a bunch of low-speed corners, a lot of little high, well, I won't say super high-speed corners like maybe you'd see it like Watkins Glen, but we'll say mid-tier speed. As the kids say, mid. Don't they say that a lot? Fuck them kids. Famous words of Michael Jordan, right? But no, look, Mid-Ohio is going to be interesting for the trucks because we've never been here before, and it's going to be tough. I don't know what to expect exactly because we haven't been here before, and we have a bunch of drivers who've never been here before. So definitely would say the safest bet to start off is Zane Smith at plus 450. I think that could be the best value you're going to get because of the qualifying. Their program has been unbelievable at qualifying. Zane Smith always qualifies well. I could see that dropping to plus 300. I really could. So enough of Zane. Talk a little about Hosevar. Hosevar is going to be good, I think, too. Has had some good runs at the road courses. If he hadn't had a shattered ankle, probably could have won Sonoma or had a top 3 finish. But Daniel Suarez took over for him in that one. So moving along here, Ben Rhodes plus 700, Ty Majeski plus 800, Corey Heim plus 1,200, big fade time there. Chandler Smith plus 1,200, Tyler Ankrum 1,400. Parker Kligerman is an interesting one. I think I'm going to have Kligerman in a bet later in the show. Parker Kligerman, I think, is one of the most underrated road racers and quite frankly, just racers in NASCAR in general, and has had some really good results at the road courses. I think in 4 or 5 road course starts, he has 3 top 10s in the last couple of years, something like that. So Kligerman has really gotten better and better as the years have gone on, not just on road courses, but on ovals, on dirt. Has really stepped up his performance in that number 75 truck. So keep an eye on Parker Kligerman. I want to see if we can find some better enhanced value once qualifying is over. Maybe they'll mess up. Maybe he'll slip up. Maybe his odds will change in our favor. Stuart Friesen right here at 1,500. Justin Marks plus 1,600 on Barstool Sportsbook. What do we think about Justin Marks? I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I think I'm going to go full fade on Justin Marks. That music was playing the whole fucking time, wasn't it? Oh, well. Maybe was the music better? Was the music better with me talking? I don't know how loud it was. But nonetheless, Justin Marks, I think on DraftKings was plus 2,000 or plus 2,100 last time I looked. But the guy hasn't been in a competitive race car. Besides, he did run SRX, but this is a totally different dynamic. He is a road course ace. His only Xfinity Series win was at a road course a few years back, driving for Chip Ganassi Racing. It's been too long since he's been in a NASCAR sanctioned race. So I think I'm going to go full fade on Justin Marks. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a top 15, maybe a top 10, but I think that's way too expensive. Christian Eckes, Grant Enfinger, Matt Crafton. Two guys I'm looking at that are huge underdogs right next to each other. Kaz Grala plus 5,000, Derek Kraus plus 5,000. Kaz Grala has recent experience at this racetrack. Though it's been different cars, he is a good road course racer. The performance hasn't been there this year as it was last year in the number 02 truck, but I like the experience factor here. Kaz Grala, and he just won a Trans Am race, by the way. I think he just won a Trans Am race. I think Justin Marks won at Mid-Ohio, JT, but I'll have to double check on that. It was either Mid-Ohio or Road America, but nah, I can't ride with Justin Marks again. The two guys I'm looking at that are huge underdogs, Kaz Grala, Derek Kraus. Right now, plus 600 on DraftKings Sportsbook for a top 5. I think is good value for Derek Kraus because after qualifying, these guys have been pretty good at qualifying all season long at a variety of different racetracks. That line might shift drastically. I mean, it could get cut in half potentially. So I like Derek Kraus. I love Kaz Grala as underdogs. I've already locked in Kaz Grala at plus 10,000. That line has basically cut in half on all sportsbook, plus on all sports books, plus 1,000 for a top 5 finish is now plus 500 for a top 5 over on DraftKings. So haven't seen any top 5 odds on Barstool just yet. Oh, I left my drink over there. Fuck. So those are the two underdogs that I like for Mid-Ohio. So let's move on here. Heading into the Xfinity Series at Atlanta, it's going to be straight drafting style, chaos, super speedway style racing. Ty Gibbs somehow won this race earlier this year. Remember that? I don't know. Whoever watched that race, you remember fucking Ryan Sieg? Ryan Sieg was leading with like 2 to go. It was just an absolute shit show. Austin Hill was up there. A lot of guys, a lot of good contenders were in wrecks. AJ Allmendinger was up there at the end. He's always been a good super speedway racer. So AJ and Ty Gibbs, well, on Barstool, AJ's plus 600. Ty Gibbs slightly under him at plus 650. Got Noah Gragson. Been in the news a lot recently. There's a narrative play right there. Noah Gragson tells all the haters to shut the fuck up and comes out and wins at Atlanta. Keep that in mind, maybe. Gragson's been a good super speedway racer. Won at Talladega earlier this year. Has won at Daytona before. So plus 700, not bad. I don't know where he is actually on DraftKings, Caesars, FanDuel. I'm sure he's in the same ballpark, though. Probably not too much more value. Maybe you guys already know. But Tyler Reddick is back. Shout out to the Red Dog. You're the man. Finally got his first Cup Series win at Road America last weekend. The Red Dogs were barking. They're still barking. I don't know if they'll be barking for Xfinity this weekend, though. We'll have to see. But Austin Hill plus 800, going to be a factor, I think. Justin Allgaier, I'm on the fade mode for Allgaier 2 weeks in a row. Josh Berry on the fade mode with him, too. Sam Mayer. Love Sam Mayer this weekend. I'll get into that more later. But love Sam Mayer. He's plus 1,100 on Barstool, plus 1,200 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I think it's pretty good value for a guy that's in a top-tier race car and has been close to getting that first win. He's not like Carson Hosevar close, but talk about a race that could even the playing field. That's a mini super speedway, chaotic shit show of a race in Atlanta this weekend. So I like Sam Mayer a lot. He's the only junior motorsports guy full-time that has not won a race this year. He's on the verge of knocking on the door. So we're going to keep him in mind. Landon Castle plus 1,500. Daniel Hemrick plus 1,500. Brandon Jones, same price. Ryan Truex comes back at the same price. Ryan Truex might be one of the unluckiest drivers ever. I'm not going to go heavy on matchups this weekend. Just letting everybody know, matchups have been my kryptonite. I win one matchup, and I start riding with them a lot. And then, like you saw last weekend, this one right here shattered my soul. This was my top play last weekend, and I hate it for everybody that rode. I said Sammy Smith was going to wreck. I was right. He wrecked twice, but the first time he wrecked, guess who fucking ran into him and blew his radiator out? Miguel Paludo. What a shame. What a shame. That hurt a lot. That hurt a lot. I feel like that was not a bad pick. I think I called it the whole time. I said Paludo's going to take care of himself. He's going to stay out of trouble, which I guess I was wrong on that part. But I thought Sammy Smith would wreck, and he did. But unfortunately, the one guy that has to T-bone Sammy fucking Smith is Miguel Paludo. So that one's tough. But for reasons like that, I'm not going to go heavy on matchups this weekend. Just a heads up. So continuing, Riley Herbst at 20-1. Sheldon Creed. I talked to Sheldon earlier this week. We're going to bless some good luck upon Sheldon this weekend, and he's going to have a good run. Also, everybody wins after they have a kid in NASCAR. It is science. It is proven. It is fact. Sheldon Creed just had the baby not too long ago. I think Sheldon Creed is going to be a factor this weekend. I really do. Plus 2,500, plus 3,000. He's going to be on the card. I think he could win. Book it right now. Ryan Sieg, somebody mentioned that in the chat earlier. As I mentioned, he was leading this race with a couple laps to go. The books definitely are thinking about that when pricing him out, because usually he would not be 30 to 1. He'd be more like 50, 60, 70 to 1. So Ryan Sieg at 30 to 1. The books did take notice of Atlanta. I think that's a decent underdog play. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, if I'm going to buy into it, but hey, if you're feeling frisky, Ryan Sieg, he's never won before. He's been close before. Almost won at Atlanta. Brett Moffitt, 40 to 1. Anthony Alfredo, Jeb Burton, Jeffrey Earnhardt, I have my eye on at 50 to 1. Sam Hunt Racing, last time he raced in this number 26 car, which is a Joe Gibbs Racing funded race team, Toyota funded race team. He finished 7th at Nashville after spinning out early. So that was good. Good job overcoming adversity in that race, and a good run for a guy that's looking to get back full-time into this series and just full-time into NASCAR again. So 50 to 1, I think, could be worth a shot for sure for a guy that almost won Talladega, was this close on a crazy final lap. So looking at the rest of these guys, I'm putting the house on Jesse Iwuji at plus 100,000 for sure, because I'm the greatest in the universe, and that's a great bet. Yeah, Jesse Iwuji. Obviously, I'm joking. Anyone that doesn't know about Jesse Iwuji, just maybe the chat will start talking about him. I think he's a super nice guy, but don't bet on him ever under any circumstance. Moving on, let's get to Cup. We'll come back with some Xfinity picks here later. Cup Series odds, same thing, Barstool Sportsbook. Really scattered across the board. Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain co-favorites. Ryan Blaney was a huge factor in this race, has been the top super speedway racer over the past couple of years. No one can change my mind. Has been on the verge of winning a Daytona 500. Fuck you, Cindric. Still took that away from me. And the Garage Fam in February. So don't want to relive that again. But Ryan Blaney consistently finds himself at the end of these super speedway races. Was running second, third on the last lap of the race earlier, and got into Bubba Wallace on the last lap just to give him a push. And Bubba got sideways, and Blaney got sideways and went up and hit the wall. Ran way better than his finishing position shows. The books are noticing that, and just noticing his overall strong super speedway performance collectively. So William Byron, the recent winner at Atlanta, first time at Atlanta with the super speedway package, won. Plus 1,100. I think I picked him as like my top play or second top play in the spring. I think I got him at 1,400. That was a big day. William Byron probably going to be a factor. Has had a rough few months since he won at Martinsville. So they're looking to get back into contention to do anything. I mean, they haven't even been contending for top 10s, top 5s. It's been a fucking rough early summer stretch for Willie B. But Kyle Busch, plus 1,200. Denny, Kyle Larson. Also plus 1,200, Joey Logano, Bubba Wallace. I've already locked in Bubba Wallace. That's going to be a pick for Sunday. I got him at 14 to 1. But Bubba Wallace has been one of the most consistent super speedway racers since 2021. Even for Richard Petty Motorsports, had a P2 in the Daytona 500. Ran up front a lot, led laps at Talladega and late in races. And it seems like there's almost no one better than Bubba Wallace when it comes to getting to the end of these races. I know he's crashed in the final lap in the last two at Talladega and Atlanta, but he's made it to the end in all these races. And when you consider P2 in the Daytona 500, lost it by that much, Bubba's got to be up there. His line has moved from 1,500 to 1,200 on most books. So I'm on Bubba already. Tyler Reddick, Red Dog, baby. Red Dog. Plus 1,800. Christopher Bell, I'll go ahead and tell you I'm on Bell. I feel like not a lot of people are going to be betting on Christopher Bell. I like how much more aggressive he's gotten at this style of racing. If you remember at Atlanta, was making a pass for P2 against Ross Chastain on the final lap, got disqualified because he went below that. It's not a yellow line. It was like a fucking red, white, yellow line, some shit. I hate yellow line rules, but nonetheless, he got penalized, finished like 28th or 30th or something. But realistically, he ran second or third, was very aggressive. And if you want to pick to win the pole, he might come up later, him and the whole Toyota camp. So I like Chris Bell. I think everybody's going to be fading him. And wouldn't it be – I love these ironic narrative plays. Like in Atlanta the first time, part of the reason I bet on William Byron was because the flame paint scheme was back for the first time in 2022. Jeff Gordon was back in the booth for the first time in 2022. Like the narrative the irony narrative around that helped me be like, yeah, William Byron, which he's a great super speedway racer first and foremost, but sometimes the gut, as Garage Guy Chase will say, the gut play factor is important. I'm feeling that gut play factor with Christopher Bell, especially after everybody's like roasting him on Twitter because him and Bubba have swapped a few pit crew members and everybody thinks it's the absolute fucking end of the world for Chris Bell. Like it just doesn't happen that way. Denny Hamlin tweeted about it. Sometimes certain guys have chemistry with other guys. When it comes to a pit crew, I'm not worried about the pit crew for C Bell at all. His pit crew is already bad too. So this could be better for both parties involved when it comes to the 20 team and the 23 team. So I love the narrative there. I think everybody's going to fade him. They think it's the end of the world. Christopher Bell is going to be a factor. Moving on, Kurt Busch, Daniel Suarez at that same price. You got Bowman, Harvick, and Truex at 25-1. Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric at 30-1. Eric Almirola, I think, is an interesting one. A guy that needs to win, kind of like Christopher Bell. Barely hanging on to that playoff spot. Only 13 guys have won this year. So you got 3 guys who are in on points right now. You're just not safe at this point, especially when we still have Daytona. We have New Hampshire next week where Eric Almirola was really good. This could be a good one for Eric Almirola. Was running in the top 5 before he spun out with like 8 laps to go in the spring. Great super speedway racer. There's just too much on the line, and it seems like we could have 16 winners. So that's another narrative that is going to influence my bets this weekend is guys are going to be desperate to get a win and solidify their spot into the playoffs because this season has been unbelievable when it comes to winners in the Cup Series. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter. This is for sure the most competitive the Cup Series has ever been, ever in its history. No question about it. And no one can change my mind. 13 guys have already won. I think 15 to 17 guys could get a win by the end of the season. And anyone can win this championship. I mean, really anybody can win it. So consider the playoff bubble when betting on this race. I really think it will have a factor. So moving on, Austin Dillon, I think, could be a good play. He falls in that same conversation as everybody just talked about. Eric Jones is up there too. I will not bet on Eric Jones because of the pain he caused me at Talladega. Just don't think he's capable of finishing. Oh, that kills me thinking about Talladega. Here we go. I'll put this on the board from Alec. Atlanta King Harvick plus 2,500. He's not the Atlanta King anymore because it is now a super speedway. I can't agree with you on that one because it's not Atlanta that Harvick used to win at the 2 or 3 times he did win here. So Brad Keselowski, 40-1. This is crazy. Clearly the books have forgotten who the king of super speedway racing is, and that is fucking Brad Keselowski. Big 6 energy this weekend. Big 6 energy. Brad K is going to be on the card. I've already got a bet on him. 40-1 is, I get it's been a terrible year for Brad Keselowski, but when you look at the super speedway races, won the duel, I guess it was duel number 1 at Daytona before the Daytona 500. Finished 9th in the Daytona 500, ran better than 9th. I know he was a wrecking ball, taking out a lot of guys, but he was running at the front most of that race. Got shuffled literally on the last lap from a top 5 finish. Talladega, we didn't get to see what his potential was because he got 2 pit road speeding penalties and had to try to get laps back. So finished 23rd there. Wasn't a factor because he shot himself in the foot with pit road penalties. I don't expect that this weekend. And you look at Atlanta, wasn't a super big factor, but he did get some stage points and finished 12th. There's almost nobody better than, I talk about Bubba Wallace in this same sense. There's almost nobody better at getting to the end of these races and positioning themselves better than Brad fucking Keselowski. Big 6 energy. Mark Martin liked it on Instagram. That's a sign. Big sign. I love Brad Keselowski this weekend at 40-1. I'm hammer time. Got more underdogs. Ricky Stenhouse plus 4,000. Michael McDowell. Everybody's betting on Michael McDowell. I'm not doing it. 50-1, 60-1. His value has definitely he's gotten more expensive because people seem like they're hammering him. I just can't do it. I just don't think Mike Mack, like his one win was a fluke, even though he has had good performance. There's no doubt. He's been a top 10 car, maybe even top 5 car. A lot of races this season, especially at the road courses. Good super speedway racer. I'm looking more on the top 5. Maybe a prop is top 4 potentially, but I'm not going to pick him to win. And then I don't see any more value anywhere else here. Noah Gragson is back, plus 15,000. He's in a good race car. Just got to finish. I look for some top 5, maybe some top 3 value there. So that was a pretty long spill on odds. We're going to talk SRX at the very end, but there is an incredible discrepancy on SRX that I'll tell you about at the end. Like fucking hammer time on Caesars Sportsbook for one driver. So let's get to the Wall of Dale. The Wall of Dale draft number 3. As you can see, David Starr permanently on the board as a 401k theft champion because of Homestead Miami 2021. I doubt he'll ever come off this list ever. Austin Cindric is permanently dead to me. I picked him to win as one of my winner picks for Road America. He did not win, so he lost another 0.8 units for me and has stolen money from me over the past 3 years. So he is permanently dead to me. Hashtag please retire. Let's get to it. Wall of Dale. Let's start with the bad this weekend because not a lot's going to change on the bad. A guy I talked about. I feel like I bet him every single week, so I talked about him already. You may disregard me. You may disregard my advice for this, but Sheldon Creed, former truck god, he is a 401k theft champion in 2022 because he has lost me more money when it comes to betting on a driver than anyone in any of the 3 NASCAR National Series. I'm sorry, Sheldon. And he understands. Me and Sheldon are friends. If he saw this, he'd be like, yeah, it's been tough. But they've had a lot of bad luck, so got to consider that. Love Sheldon Creed. Let me know what you guys think about Sheldon Creed this weekend. Another guy that is on the 401k theft champion train, Martin Truex Jr., a.k.a. the driver who wants to lose more than anybody. I've never seen a driver who wants to win less than Martin Truex Jr. Minus 7.75 units this year when betting on Martin Truex, and his pain stretches back to 2021, 2020. I'm always losing when I'm betting on Truex, and I'm sure you are too. Next guy up, no change from last week, and I'm going to fade him actually in a pick later. Christian Eckes in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series, minus 6.95 units on the year. He's been so close to winning. I want to bet on him every time we go to an intermediate racetrack. We're on a road course this year, or this weekend, and Eckes is not the best on road courses. I'll dig into that later. So Eckes has lost me more money than anybody in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series this season. The next guy, the closest guy to him, is Matt Crafton in the Truck Series in that regard. Fucking Matt Crafton, old bastard. So there you go. There is. What was that? I don't know what just happened. What fell? Did y'all hear that? I think it was one of Chris's. My roommate Chris is like a big Braves guy. I hope it's not broken. Should we check if it's broken? Should we check? Sorry, Chris. Oh, wait, no, it's just a bunch of fucking watches or some shit. Yeah, they're fine. A bunch of old stuff. We're good. Didn't even notice that was there. Moving on. These are the drivers on the next list that are dead to Dale, dead to me on the betting side, even though I'm probably going to be betting on a few guys. We have one new addition to this list, but we'll start out with the guys. I love this dude. He's a friend of mine, Ryan Blaney, but it's been a rough year when betting on young Ryan Blaney, minus 7.66 units. And another guy that I just have missed the mark on since 2021, really. So Austin Cindric, of course, stays on here permanently. Hashtag please retire, Austin Cindric. You're getting old. It's time to hang it up. Next guy, I mentioned him earlier. Just the pain of Talladega, plus 5,000 on the final lap, final turn, loses it. Eric Jones, minus 7 units on bets this year in 2022. You're dead to me. And the new addition to this list, for anybody who follows me on the Action Network and saw all my picks last weekend at Road America, we hit big on Tyler Reddick. Thank you, Red Dog. You're the man. But this guy, this is just a pretty shitty beat. It actually was my first bet on him in 2022, but he is dead to me. especially because I put the house on him last year to advance from the All-Star Open at Texas, and he was unable to do that. Chris Buescher, 6th place champion. I had Buescher for a top 5 finish at guess plus 500. Put a pretty big coin on that. He was running 5th, top 5 the whole race, and with 2 fucking laps to go, he got passed by Daniel Suarez. I don't know if anyone else had that bet. That seemed like a popular bet. A lot of guys and girls were on Chris Buescher at Road America. Welcome back. This is the 6th place champion. Chris Buescher, you are officially dead to me. And I've only bet on you 1 fucking time. So, that's the bad part. That's the ugly part. Sports Guide of the Week here in the middle, we will announce at the end of the show. Or, not the end of the show, but the end of this segment. So, let's get to the guys that have done well. We're going to have a couple new additions to this list. Guys that have done really well for me this year. And I'm going to start with the guy that's been in the news. Got a lot of hate this weekend. Rightfully so. Pretty dangerous to wreck everybody on a long, like the fastest straightaway at Road America. Noah Gragson. Nonetheless, he won me money because I put 2 units on him to beat Justin Allgaier. Miracle bet, by the way. Absolute miracle bet. Because Allgaier was running 6th on the last lap and got wrecked by Austin Hill. And Noah Gragson beat him coming to the line. Incredible miracle bet. So, plus 11.99 units on the year for Noah Gragson. Very profitable for me. Noah Gragson is for sure doing it for Dale. We're going to add this kid to the list right here because I actually, before this past weekend, this guy had lost me a good bit of money. I could never, he's won a lot this year, but I could just never get the race right when I would bet on this dude. Ty Gibbs, the prodigy. Ty fucking Gibbs. This kid right here is a real deal. I told you guys on Dale Center last week, plus 700 was totally worth it to pick him to win. And I told you also that Kyle Larson was not going to win that race, who was a ridiculous favorite at like plus 150. I told you he wasn't going to win. I told you Ty Gibbs was a great play. Ty Gibbs, the money man himself, doing it for Dale. Now plus 7.5 units, all from 2 bets. I had him to win and for a top 3. So shout out Ty Gibbs. Another guy that won me a bet this weekend at Road America. Second one bet of the season from this dude. Chase Briscoe, picked him to win at Phoenix. And he won a matchup for me over Kurt Busch at Road America. Now up to plus 17.6 units when betting on Chase Briscoe in 2022. He's been doing it for Dale. I don't bet on him often, but I love betting on Briscoe. I've taken him to win the pole a couple times. Worked out one time, didn't work out another time. But Briscoe's always undervalued, and I feel like he's always going to sneak up. So let's go to the 401k Grand National Champions now. As you see, the guys that are doing it for Dale this weekend. Got to roll with my truck guys, right? The truck series has been very profitable for me in my lifetime. Zane Smith, talked about him. Going to be a good pick this weekend. Plus 13.5 units when betting on Zane. The efficiency of, I bet on him like 5 times, and 3 of the times the bets have hit. Give me Zane Smith. 401k Grand National Champion. Without Zane Smith, my 401k would be in the dumps. It would be very similar to the stock market. Next guy up, Joey Logano. Another guy who's been on the 401k Grand National Champions list for a few weeks. Joseph L. It's been a struggle recently for Joseph L., but I picked him at Gateway. I picked him at the Clash. The guy has come through for me. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Who was on this list last week? Did I lose a picture? Oh, Ryan Preece. I had Ryan Preece up, but Ryan Preece is like, I don't know when the next time he's going to race, so I took him off the board. Took Justin Allgaier off the board because unit count that he's won me is a little small, but I was really excited about him last week. Next guy, the Red Dog, Tyler fucking Reddick. I don't know why Walgreens printed his picture out differently than everybody, but maybe it was a sign. Tyler Reddick has been the most profitable driver for me all season long. He won the Xfinity race at Texas, picked him to win that, and this past weekend, picked him to win at Road America. Also, I've had him for a couple top threes, pole position, top fives, matchups. No one has been more profitable now than Tyler fucking Reddick, plus 21.4 units. Most experts don't even make that in a season, and I've made it on one fucking driver. That is the Red Dog. Cheers to Tyler Reddick, everybody. Welcome to the Grand National 401k champion, Grand National champion of the 401k, Tyler Reddick, Zane Smith, Joey Logano, and I think I had one more. Where is this kid at? Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Two more. Yeah, sorry. We'll get through this real quick. Josh Berry, been excellent for me this year, plus 15.3 units, has definitely led the charge in the Xfinity Series. And Truck God the second, Chandler Smith. Think he could be a factor this week and has gotten better at the road courses. We'll to be determined on my thoughts on Chandler Smith, but 13.6 units when betting on Chandler Smith in 2022. So back on the 401k Grand National Champion list, Truck God the second, Chandler Smith. I want to do some math real quick. Like if you look at these guys, where's my phone? These five guys combined have won me 13, 25, 46, so 47, 57, 62, about 76 units net positive on the year from just these five drivers right here. That's fucking ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And I haven't even bet on these guys like a bunch. I guess I bet on Tyler Reddick a bunch, but all these other guys, Zane Smith, kind of. Just a lot of profit from a handful of drivers. So shout out to everybody, especially the Red Dog for making the list. And Sports God of the Week. Sports God of the Week right here goes to the best athlete picked by Dale Tanhart. The first 2 weeks, Sports God of the Week belonged to BJ McLeod. Week number 3, now 3-time Sports God of the Week. Put your hands together for BJ McLeod. Once again, the Sports God of the Week, undisputed. Some of the best hair I've ever seen from a NASCAR driver also. The picture really doesn't do it justice, but BJ McLeod once again reigns as the Sports God of the Week. Three-time winner, BJ McLeod. 3-time winner, Sports God of the Week. Love me some BJ McLeod. Excellent hair. Peak male physical performance. That's BJ McLeod. There we go. BJ. Love it. Love the energy there. So, I guess it's time to get into some picks. Dale Center top 5 went 1 for 5 last week. Sadly, I made a promise to myself that I would recap them. Paluto over Sammy Smith at Road America in the Xfinity Series. We talked about that. Fucking pain, bullshit, terrible luck. You know. Gragson over Allgaier was the only bet that hit, and it was a miracle. I mean, no question about it. So that was a good one. Bowman top 10. Remind anybody tuning in, this is last week. I'm recapping last week's picks. This is Road America, right? Road America, last week's picks. Bowman top 10, I thought was a lock. They did the bullshit strategy where they opted for stage points early and just never got back into it, finished 12th. And then Marcus Ericsson, top 3, was just never a factor. Qualified poorly, finished 6th. And then Marcus Ericsson again outright. Those are the picks. They go 1 for 5. So Dale Center top 5 plays have gone 4 for 10. But last week I did tell you that Ryan Newman was a top play for the SRX race that was at Stafford. And guess who won the race? My man, the motherfucking Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. So Blake Keaton, I am not Noah Gragson. I really don't even think we look alike. But I hear this all the time. Does anyone else agree with this? I really feel like I don't look like Noah, but some people will come up to me and say, I mean, look how long my hair is. And then look him up. He just got the mullet back, and it is, I mean, it's 10 times as short as mine. So I hear this all the time. I disagree. Eric Jones, another hot comment from Blake. Shit. We'll definitely come back to this if that is an accurate prediction. I don't think it will. But Zane Train, Adam Teal, absolutely. Love the Zane train this weekend. Has been, like I said, first and second at the first 2 road courses this year. Out-dueled Kyle Busch in one of those. So, last thing I'll look at here. Michael McDowell. Fuck, no, he's not. There's no way. 0% chance Michael McDowell. Exit, I put 0.8 units on Brad Keselowski over on the Action Network. You can see that. And I think I locked that in. I got to check my phone. I think I locked that in on either BetMGM or DraftKings. To be determined to know. But he's plus 4,000 still. His line has not moved much. So I think he's worth close to a unit. The books just don't. They have forgotten who the king of super speedway is, and that's number 6, Brad Keselowski. I know this is Mark, but Big 6 energy. Love Sheldon trucks. And look, I know he's stolen a lot of money from me this year, but he made at least double, maybe triple the money that I've lost this season. He made triple what I lost from trucks over the past 3 years. So still love Sheldon. He'll get back. Braxton win. Kligerman top 5. Bell win. I'm all on C Bell, baby. I'm all on C Bell. Not sure if I'm on Gregson, but yeah, Kligerman. I just want to wait and see because I feel like plus 150 on DraftKings is just shitty value. But we'll see how qualifying goes, and then we'll make that determination. But let's get to some picks. The Dale Center top 5 plays. The Dale Center top 5 plays coming up. Boom. My beautiful graphic. Look at that. Dale Center top 5. Oh, shout out to Troy. A new slogan has been created in the Discord. The SC in Dale Center, straight cash. I'm going to run with that one. Troy, if you want to trademark it, I might have to pay for it sometime down the road. Don't sue me. The SC stands for straight cash. Fucking love that. Ooh, that Coke. Hey, I got one more. I'm addicted to looking at the comments. I'm sorry. Chris, Denny and that Coke scheme is going to be a problem. I think it's a curse. I think the opposite because FedEx has been there for all of Denny's wins. Well, I think he's won with Sports Clips and whoever that fucking blue and orange company was that sponsored him last year. I can't remember who it was. Who was that blue and orange paint scheme that he had that he won Darlington? I think the Coca-Cola is a curse. That's just me. But Dale Center top plays. Let's get right into it. So number 5 for the Dale Center top plays, if I can find them here. This is the discrepancy I was going to talk about. We're going to talk SRX right now. Joseph Newgarden, who is a Hall of Fame IndyCar driver, first of all. Second of all, is one of the best drivers in IndyCar, a 2-time champion for Team Penske, has won everywhere. He's good on ovals. He's good on road courses. The only thing he hasn't done is won the Indy 500. Joseph Newgarden is plus 1,200 on Caesars Sportsbook, and I hope to God you have access to this because this line, offer pad. Thank you, offer pad. That was a scheme. Yeah. Good job. Thank you, Chris. Offer pad. Okay, back to this. That was important to me. Joseph Newgarden is plus 500 on DraftKings, and he's still sitting at plus 1,200 on Caesars Sportsbook. Look at the average age of this field. Michael Waltrip's almost 60. Bobby Labonte's in his 50s. Tony Stewart's in his 50s. Bill Elliott, I think Bill Elliott's still racing. He's like 70. Like, the average age of this field compared to Joseph Newgarden is not even close. And I don't know what Caesars is doing, but if you can, you got to go hammer that right now. Put a half unit, put a full unit on that, okay? I'm going to go 3/4 of a unit, all right? That's what I've done. 3/4 of a unit is locked in on Joseph Newgarden. I also got Matt Kenseth on Caesars Sportsbook at plus 1,000 for another 3/4 of a unit. Still waiting on my third guy. I think I'm going to go with Andretti again. Andretti at plus 1,800 on Caesars. Like, what? The guy led like the last 20 laps of that race until he got passed by Ryan Newman. So I don't know what they're doing. If you compare the odds on Caesars to DraftKings, it's just fucking crazy. Go to Caesars. If you have it, I hope you do, and lock in Joseph Newgarden to win. No doubt about it, he runs top 3 at the absolute worst. This is a world-class young race car driver. Oh, in his hometown also. He's from Nashville, home city, whatever. In the prime of his career right now, and he's substantially younger than basically everybody in the field. Just fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. He's plus 500 on DraftKings. Get him right now at plus 1,200 to win at the fairgrounds for the SRX race in Nashville. So moving on, number 4. This is a combo thing, and I can do this because if one of these guys wins, you're going to profit substantially. These 3 guys, and I think a lot of people are probably raising the eyebrows right now, like, whoa, okay. Austin Hill, which actually I think is going to be a somewhat popular play. Won Daytona, was in contention to win at Talladega, got wrecked with just a handful of laps to go while battling for the lead, and then at Atlanta finished second. Probably should have won Atlanta. Kind of screwed up there in that late race restart, gave the lead up to Ty Gibbs, finished second. This guy is a tremendous super speedway racer. If he makes it to the Cup Series, this guy has the aggression level, the smarts, and just the poise to win at Daytona and Talladega on any given race day if he's in a good race car. He's done it in trucks. He's now done it in Xfinity, and he has been in contention all year long. Caesar Sportsbook has a profit boost right now to get him at plus 850. Every other book has him at 800, 750. If you can get that profit boost, I'd roll with it. I would also roll with plus 800 and plus 700. I think it's totally worth it. The RCR energy is back with Tyler Reddick winning. RCR energy is flowing through the fucking roof right now. Give me Austin Hill. Sam Mayer plus 1,200. I think that this kid is going to for sure win a race this year. He's been close, but he's been outclassed by Junior Motorsports teammates like Josh Berry, Justin Allgaier, and Noah Gragson earlier in the season. But the kid has been really, really fast. And if he had a little bit more luck, he probably, I think, could have won already. I think he had a great shot to win at Portland, but I think he blew an engine like early in that race after going off track, just like everyone else did. That race was a shit show. Different race than what we're looking at this weekend. I think Sam Mayer is going to be a prime contender to win this race. He's the only Junior Motorsports driver that hasn't won. He's plus 1,200 on DraftKings Sportsbook. I think that's totally worth it for a kid that has the talent to win. And he's getting close to knocking on the door. I love guys that are knocking on the door, no matter what series. Give me Sam Mayer. And then the one that everybody's going to disagree with because he's been so unprofitable this year, Sheldon Creed, the OG truck god, I think is going to be a contender to win this race. I take him for a top 5. I take him for a top 3. And I've already got money on him to win. Desperation time is coming. I talked about the Cup Series earlier with the playoff situation. If you look at the Xfinity Series, Sheldon Creed has virtually no chance to get into the playoffs by points. And this is a top-tier ride. And this is a top-tier driver. Sheldon Creed has proven he is a good race car driver. He's just had the worst luck ever. The absolute worst luck. Getting wrecked by guys, blowing engines. It's just been an abysmal year for these guys. But they have the speed. And Sheldon Creed is that motherfucker. That's what we're going to say. Sheldon Creed is that motherfucker. Plus 2,500. I think I saw him at plus 3,000 on some book, but it moved. Plus 2,500 is worth it. Sheldon Creed. One of these 3 guys is going to win the Alsco Uniforms 250 at Atlanta. Book it. Come back and thank me. Number 3. Love this bet right here. This isn't like a specific one, even though I do list a specific top play. If you just want to roll with somebody like on a confidence scale, I think Toyota is going to win the pole at Atlanta this weekend. If you look at the difference between Daytona and Talladega on qualifying, which, by the way, it's worth noting, we did not get qualifying at Atlanta in the spring. It got rained out. Chase Briscoe only got the pole virtue of winning at Phoenix the weekend before. So keep that in mind. We haven't seen a qualifying session in Cup at Atlanta this year. So if you look at the improvement from Daytona to Talladega, Joe Gibbs Racing put 4 cars in the top 10 in single-car qualifying at Talladega with Christopher Bell winning the pole. I think that could bode. I think that information could transfer here to Atlanta when we're talking about the same aero package, the same engine package as they're going to run at Daytona, Talladega. Very similar. I like Christopher Bell plus 2,000. And it's a guy that's won a pole on several different racetracks this year. So C Bell plus 2,000 get the pole. I think this team is going to have a great weekend. They're on that playoff bubble. Desperation time. This is a track that evens the playing field. C Bell due for a win. The guy is very talented and only has 1 win in the Cup Series in 3 years. The guy is due. Christopher Bell is so due. I think Toyota and Joe Gibbs are going to do everything they can to get all their drivers into the playoffs. Martin Truex Jr. hates winning, so he's not going to win. But Christopher Bell, I'm telling you, flying under the radar, good underdog play. I got him at 22-1. His line has moved to 20-1 everywhere else I've seen. So actually check BetMGM. BetMGM is where I locked him in, and he was 22-1 on BetMGM. Let's go see if he still is there. I don't know if he is or not. But to win the poll, this is to win the poll only on DraftKings Sportsbook. Take the Toyotas. Toyota is going to win the poll. Take it to the bank. Come back and thank me later. Number 2, the only matchup I'm going to do for the Truck Series. We talk about Zane Smith, probably going to be a play, maybe some action on Hosevar, Parker Kligerman in there as well. Give me Grant Enfinger over Christian Eckes. And I'll tell you why. Christian Eckes has struggled on road course races since he started racing in the Truck Series. When you look at his 5 road course starts, his finishes are 12th, 13th, 6th, and 2 35th place finishes. It's pretty bad. The only 6th place finish was at Circuit of the Americas earlier this year, and that's a totally different road course than what we're going to see at Mid-Ohio this weekend. I think the lack of experience is going to hurt him compared to Grant Enfinger, a guy that's been in the Truck Series for like 83 years. I mean, think about it. When was the last time you watched the Truck Series and Grant Enfinger was not full-time? Seriously. The guy is a truck veteran at the minimum, Grant Enfinger. He's won at a variety of different racetracks. I'm not saying Enfinger's going to win this race by any means, but compare his last 5 road course starts to Eckes's. 10th, 11th, 38th when he was driving for the 9 truck last year, which is a shit team, and he blew a transmission on like lap 1. 10th, 11th, 38th, 4th, and 7th in his 5 road course starts. I bet even driving that piece of shit truck at Watkins Glen last year, probably would have got a top 15, top 20, because that's what Grant Enfinger typically does. I know we've seen him make some bonehead errors. 2 of the last 4 races has crashed, but he's had speed, and it's a guy that is, talk about the playoff narrative. In the Truck Series, he's on that playoff bubble. If they can just get good finishes, they'll make the playoffs as long as nobody behind them wins. And I don't think anyone behind him is going to win, with the exception of maybe Derek Kraus, who I talked about earlier, plus 5,000, good value for the weekend. But Grant Enfinger over Christian Eckes, probably going to do 2 units on this one via Barstool Sportsbook. I haven't seen this matchup anywhere else. Minus 114. They're both minus 114, so there's no favorite here. I like Grant Enfinger. I like the experience. Last 5 road course starts have been substantially better than Christian Eckes's. Christian's last 5 road course starts. What a fucking weird last name. Moving on. Top play of the weekend. And people are probably like, holy shit. Okay, this is, for the top play, this is ballsy. I don't think this is ballsy at all. I don't think any of these plays are ballsy, because we have forgotten who the road course. We're at Atlanta now, not Mid-Ohio. We have forgotten who the super speedway king is, and that is Brad fucking Keselowski. Big 6 energy. And I'm putting these 3 here. If one of these hit, you're going to profit, because if you put a unit on the top 5, a half unit on the top Ford, and a quarter unit on the plus 4,000 to win, you're going to make money if one of those hits. Like, no question about it. So I love the top 5 play at plus 585. For comparison on DraftKings, it's like plus 400. Ride with Barstool on that one. Top Ford at plus 1,200 via DraftKings is good value, I think. And then to win at plus 4,000, that's where he is on most sports books. I listed DraftKings there. But Brad K is the super speedway king. Like, what are we doing here? I know it's been a tough year, but the guy has the resume to prove that he can win at any super speedway style race. So, Adam Thiel, I hate to see that, Jamie. That's tough. What state are you in, by the way? What state are you in? I just put that on the board. Anyone else have this problem? Caesars, I know, is very inconsistent. But luckily where I live, I'm able to lock in bets on their app, usually when I want to. Adam Thiel, you're a smart man. OG Garage fan right here. He knows what's up. Joe's in Newgarden plus 1,200. What are we doing? So, Enfinger, he is overdue. I don't think it's going to happen on a road course, but I think in this matchup specifically, he has a major advantage with the experience factor and having good race trucks. So, Big Buller, I get this question all the time, and I don't tell anybody. honestly, I didn't know if I was going to tell people, but it's just kind of hilarious because a lot of people get mad when they don't know. But for you, whatever your unit is, it literally is whatever you want it to be, and it's typically based off a percentage of your bankroll, right? So it's like the concept of, well, first of all, it helps you bet like responsibly, I guess, but it's essentially what you're most comfortable with, and typically is a percentage of your bankroll that you're comfortable with betting, right? So if your salary is 40 grand a year, just hypothetically, I mean, I would say, your unit should be like $20, right? 10, $20, something like that. Which if somebody's salary is $5 million a year, their unit's probably $500. So I hope that's a decent explanation, but I don't share my unit count because it irks people. I think it's hilarious. My unit count could be $1. It could be $100. It could be $1,000. Who knows? You may never know. But 10 Naka, Big Six Energy, absolutely. Show the tie one more time. Brag about Mark Martin liking my post on Instagram one more time. Boom. So appreciate everybody in the chat. So Caesars, West Virginia. I've never been to West Virginia before. Fun fact. So I don't know what that's like, but down in Louisiana, it's available. So that is the number one play. Brad fucking Keselowski. I think Brad K, minimum top 5 finish this weekend. Minimum at the worst. Brad Keselowski won this race. Famous words of America's crew chief, Larry Mack. So, final segment. This is where we get real frisky with our bets. Added this segment last week, the Tanhart Triple Crown. Now, this is where it gets tricky again on what states allow. And I hate it for you if you're not allowed to do certain parlays. And a lot of books will cap the limit of money you can win. Caesars, I think, is like 50 grand from what I've seen on NASCAR Bets. So I'm with you guys there. So the Tanhart Triple Crown. I'm going to give you 2, actually. One is more friskier than the other one. But the first Triple Crown, this is via DraftKings Sportsbook. And this is the only way I would bet on Joseph Newgarden on DraftKings, is only if I could parlay it. Caesars, I got to check and make sure I can do it. Remember the value on Caesars. But I've never made a parlay on Caesars before, so I'm not sure. Tanhart Triple Crown number 1. Joseph Newgarden to win, combined with Brad Keselowski top 5 and Austin Hill over Tyler Reddick. A $100 bet would win you $6,200. Love this. Talking about Reddick, hey, look, we're still celebrating the Red Dog, all right? No doubt about it. But we're on the Xfinity side now. I feel like Austin Hill is just an astonishingly good super speedway racer. I love the aggression that he has. Tyler Reddick in this number 48 car. I know it hasn't always been his fault, but they have torn up some race cars when he's been in this race car. And if you want to tear up a race car, this is the weekend to do it at Atlanta Dega. I can't believe I hadn't said that yet, but it's not Atlanta anymore. It's Atlanta Dega. So love that. I think that's actually more of a conservative parlay right there, but I think that's pretty good value. Basically 62-1, right? $100 bet wins you $6,200. And I'm not telling you to put 100. I probably wouldn't put 100 on that, but that just gives you an idea of the multiplier effect from this Tanhart Triple Crown play. So usually, I feel like I was going to do 1, but this one I'm going to do 2. And this one is a wild one. So get ready. This is not financial advice. Tanhart Triple Crown number 2. Kligerman top 5, which this isn't a triple crown, it's a quadruple crown. Kligerman top 5, Mayer top 3, Newgarden to win, and Brad Keselowski top 5. A $100 bet wins 32 grand. I'm telling you right now, if we all make this parlay right here, if we all make this parlay and it hits, Vegas is gonna shit a brick. They're all done for. They might start canceling bets. If everybody watching this, and who does watch this, it is recorded. If you missed any part, you can go back on my Twitter or on Garage Guys YouTube and watch it. Anybody who watches this and makes this parlay, also via DraftKings, that would be a fat fucking parlay right there. I'm not saying it's going to hit. This is not financial advice. Don't put $100 on this if you cannot afford that. But absolutely love this parlay. It's the Tanhart quadruple crown, actually, for the second one. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Before I go, I want to hear some chatter. I want to hear some feedback. And anybody, if you're here tuning in late, if you missed anything, if you're asking about a pick that I may have given out, feel free to ask it. I'll recap it real quick. I got about 5 to 6 minutes. I'll recap whatever if you want me to. Another L2 at Atlanta, probably. Yeah. We'll see what the sports books do about that if we get a penalty. Jeb over Sheldon. He won at Talladega last year, but I just don't feel the energy. There. RCR is back, dude. Yeah, Jeb is an RCR affiliate, I guess, technically with Our Motorsports. But RCR is back. Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed are going to be really, really aggressive. Both guys have been in contention to win at Daytona and Talladega and Atlanta with Austin Hill. So I know I bet on Sheldon basically every week, but it's going to hit. It's going to hit eventually, and it might be this weekend. Give me Sheldon all day. Give me Sheldon over Jeb. Bovada, Newgarden moved to 500 from 575. Newgarden plus 1,200 on Caesars. I just cannot believe that line. I cannot believe that line. It is fucking crazy. It's just unbelievable. When you look at the young guys that raced in SRX. Chase Elliott did one race in SRX. He won, which was here last year. Kenny Francis is a younger guy. He came in, won a race. Marco Andretti, I know he's washed from IndyCar, and he has me blocked on Twitter. Marco, the only driver that has Dale Earnhardt blocked on Twitter, Andretti, won at where was that last year? Was that at Stafford? No, it wasn't Stafford. Maybe South Boston. But my point is, Andretti came in and won a race, and he's substantially younger than these guys like Bobby Labonte, Michael Waltrip, Paul Tracy, Bill Elliott. Fucking Willie T. Ribbs was racing last year. He's like 75. So give me a break on that. Sheldon Creed, 25-1. I gave that pick earlier, Michael. I love it too. Absolutely love it. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to be up there. But back to the Newgarden thing. It's just insane that he's plus 1,200. Youth is important in racing. It's going to be hot. These guys are going to be sweating. It's going to take an athletic performance out of somebody. And Joseph Newgarden in his hometown, give me a break, dude. Joseph Newgarden plus 1,200. After everybody watches this, it might be gone. It might be gone by the time I wake up tomorrow. So I'm going back to the casino tonight, place more bets. So I'm going to take a look. But Stuart Friesen at 20-1. Just Friesen. He's won 2 races in like 8 years. I know one of them was at Texas, but one on a regular basic oval, like a mile and a half, and one was on dirt. Don't think Friesen's a big road course guy. So let's see this. DK has stepped up a parlay boost to promo, 4 legs boost to 30%. Interesting. So then what would that put that at? Holy shit. 30% times 32. What, we got another 10 grand added to that parlay on a 4-leg parlay? Jesus. I don't even want to think about that. Blake, Hill, Alfredo, Jeb, and Castle. You know, Landon Castle is sneaky to me. Landon has proven he can keep the car in one piece on super speedways. He's got a shit ton of experience in NASCAR Cup, NASCAR Xfinity Series. He's never won, but Landon Castle could be a factor. Anybody know who Todd Bowman is? All right, if you know who Todd Bowman is, I might be able to I might just like send you a shirt. I might send you a Hooter shirt if you're able to guess who Todd Bowman is. It's a big inside joke, but yeah, James. Todd Bowman, not the athlete. No, BJ McLeod is the sports guy of the week. 3-timer. The 3-timer. BJ McLeod. Best hair in the business, except for me. Landon does have a lot of bad luck. He's had a lot of good runs. And just hasn't been able to finish on all these super speedways. I think he was in a wreck at Daytona. I think he was in a wreck at Talladega. Or no, he made it at Talladega because I had him for a top 5 and he finished fucking 6th, I think. So I actually remember that. But now there's your Tanhart Triple Crown number 2. Appreciate everybody who is commenting, engaging. Always free to answer any questions, anything statistical. Big sexy brain up here underneath this big sexy mullet. But I can't talk anymore. I've been talking for an hour. Speaking of big sexy, Prize Picks. Might have some sexy plays for you on the Prize Picks side. Prize Picks is an official partner of the Garage Guys. And right now, if you go to prizepicks.com or go in the description of this video on YouTube or go to a link in one of our bios, whether it's mine, Chase's, Garage Guys, you can sign up on Prize Picks and use promo code Garage Guys, and Prize Picks will do a matching deposit bonus up to $100. So if you deposit $10 to play the easiest form of daily fantasy, Prize Picks will give you another $10 to play with. If you deposit $100, Prize Picks will give you another $100 for free. You essentially double your money to play with by using promo code Garage Guys when you sign up. The invite code is in the link on the YouTube channel underneath this video, and it's all over our social media profiles on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere you can find it. Sign up now. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports, and they have all sorts of variety. Super easy interface, great chance of profitability. Actually, Garage Guy Chase gave a banger of a lineup for the Cup Series last weekend. Went 3 for 4. If you had done a flex play on Prize Picks, you would have won some money. Virtue of Garage Guy Chase, courtesy of Garage Guy Chase. So Prize Picks, super fun game, super fun app, very unique. It's basically combining over-unders of drivers' props, whether it's fastest laps, place differential, overall fantasy points. You combine over-unders for 2 to 5 drivers, and you can win up to 10 times your entry fee. Up to 10 times your entry fee if you nail all of those props. And you don't even have to get all of them to win. If you get 4 out of 5, you could win. You get 3 out of 5, you could win. So Prize Picks is a super fun game. I encourage everybody to try it. Use promo code Garage Guys when you sign up, and you get free money. Literally get free money. So always worth it when you play Prize Picks. Super fun game. So that is it for Dale Center episode number 3. Once again, thanks so much to everybody who's tuned in. Like I said, if there's any part of this episode you missed, because we have been going for a fucking hour and 10 minutes, holy shit, you can go back and watch it on YouTube, Garage Guys NASCAR Podcast, YouTube page, or Twitter at Dale Tanhart. So, and if you're watching it now, you probably know because you are watching it on one of those 2 platforms. But anyone else that might tune in the last seconds might see this late, I'm sorry you missed out on all these picks. Everybody who watches, come back and thank me. We're going to win some real fucking money this weekend at Atlanta. That's what we do with the Garage Guys, Dale Tanhart, the greatest NASCAR bettor in the history of the universe. And now, Dale Center is the official home of SRX betting as well. And I know we have like fucking 3 races left, but we did hit big last week with Ryan Newman. Going to keep trying our best to hit on the SRX side, cover IndyCar as well. I'm thinking about hiring somebody to come on for Formula One for like a couple minutes. Someone from the Netflix club to talk Formula One bets, because I watch Formula One every other week. Every week it's on when I can. I've been watching it for like 15 years, but I don't like betting on it. I don't like betting on it because I do not like minus odds for winners. It kills me. But there are people I know in the Garage Guys Discord, which there's a link. You can find that as well on all of our social media platforms. There are guys and girls in the Garage Guys Discord that profit from Formula One betting. So spread the word. I might bring a Formula One guy or girl to talk bets, just like a short segment, because I need to cover everything. And I'm just not good at betting on Formula One when I've tried. And mentally, I hate minus odds on auto racing because anything can happen. But keep that in mind. James, you still in here? Jake golfed with Todd Bowman. We're big fantasy football guys, and we used to, for some backstory, we love just like sitting in a room, like when we hang out, just naming old random NFL players. And Todd Bowman was like the most random NFL player that somebody came up with. Quarterback for the Jags. So that's actually really cool that you golfed with the GOAT, Todd Bowman, legend. It's just like one of the most random NFL names that I do remember watching him play when I was a kid. So, yes, Todd Bowman is a legend. But B.J. McLeod is a sports god. Sorry about that. So, thanks again, everybody. Parlay matchups. It's good. Yeah. Exit. Like that. Oh, on Bovada, too. Interesting. I haven't been on Bovada in a minute, but that's going to wrap it up. I could ramble on and on and on. Once again, thanks to everybody. Shout out to Prize Picks. Use promo code Garage Guys when you sign up. Wall of Dale draft is complete. Big thanks to the Red Dog. Chris Buescher, you're dead to me. Austin Cindric, super mega dead to me. And David Starr, fuck you. Everybody else, I love you. And thank you for tuning in to Dale Center episode number 3. I will see you guys next Thursday once again. And we're going to win some bets this weekend. Good luck to everybody in the ATL, Mid-Ohio, Nashville. We're going to win some money this weekend. Dale Tanhart is out. Everybody have a great weekend. Austin Cindric, super mega dead to me. Yes.